The
Yeah,
House
man.
passes an automatic draft bill, drafting everybody from what 18 to 26.
18 to
Yeah,
26.
man.
Wow.
Uh, this is the House. Still has to move through the Senate and all that other stuff, which is probably going to get squashed. But yeah, they passed it in the House. Like, yeah, fuck that. Let's catch these motherfuckers sleeping. And what's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, they said it's probably not going anywhere in the Senate because there's something in the bill. It's a bipartisan bill, but
Okay.
they don't like the language about abortion, transgender, healthcare, and DEI. They don't they so they don't think that's if they felt like it, if they take that shit out it would be fine, but they think that's the reason it's going to crash in the Senate. $895 billion, man. They selling it as we'll be able to pay, our military members more, and all of this other shit. I mean, I don't, for me, I feel like, man, I'm all for a volunteer military,
Yeah.
but there is no worse way to infringe upon somebody's freedom, other than taking their choice away in a situation in which they got to join the military. And all of
Yeah.
this is popping off for a lot of reasons, man. Me and the Cuddy was talking about how after 50 years, that U.S. Saudi petrodollar deal is done with. That shit is no more.
Right.
You got everything that's going on over Israel and Gaza, and it's reports that it's U.S. troops on the ground there. You got shit, you still got the shit, you got Russian warships off the coast of Cuba, and on the at a simpler level, I mean, recruiting numbers are down. I think the Army is down by like 10,000, the Navy is 6,000, and I forget what the Air Force and the Marines I think are okay. But I guess all across the board they're down. But to make specific, because I was listening to a political commentator today, and they said what we all know. This is going to be black inner city kids, working
Yep.
class kids, and other poor people. All of these fucking politicians who are up there who want to pass this shit, what I mean? The war machine, they're going to find ways for their kids to get out of it. You know what I mean? It's going to be a whole lot more people paying for their kids to get into Ivy League schools, which I don't believe ever stop. It's going to be a lot of people going overseas. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Well, I'm going on vacation to Thailand for the next 4 years.
I'm going to Canada for a
I'm
little
going to
bit.
Canada, for a little
Yeah, that's
bit.
the scary part. Cause when I first heard about it, I'm automatically thinking like, is it gonna be a war? Like it put a panic in me. Like
Well,
what's
I
going
think
on that we don't know about as U.S. citizens.
I think we've been on the precipice of that shit. A lot of people, from what I've been looking at, watching these different videos, man, a lot of people been tired, man, of the U.S., man. Our dollar being the world's reserve currency gave these motherfuckers power to put sanctions on everybody else. Well, now that they backed out of this deal, meaning that other countries can purchase in their currency. Before it was they had to purchase in the U.S. dollar. They can't go putting sanctions on motherfuckers anymore. And it's gonna devalue the U.S. dollar, and motherfuckers have died over this shit. Muammar Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, and
Mm-hmm.
so the way you ramping up for a war is when they say that all the men 18 to 16
Got to go.
gotta automatically. It was already required, but now they it's not you signing up. They're automatically putting your name in there.
Mm-hmm.
And the same lady who birthed this bill, she want to make it to where women go, which I'm like, okay, well at least we get some equality in some area. At least the bitch ain't biased. You know what I
No, what
mean?
she need to do is
Just
sit
make
her
it.
ass down. That's what the hell she need to do.
Well,
Sit her ass down.
she was a veteran. She was a veteran, so she's gonna be pro this type shit anyway, or at least that's gonna be her excuse. You know what I mean? But again, there's no way. Listen, if you send 150 motherfuckers that were drafted into the military, if you send them to war, you're gonna have 20, 30,000 psycho motherfuckers who can't function coming back. because it's different when you sign up for the shit. All right, I know the circumstances. This is what I'm signing up for. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm probably there's a chance that I'm gonna go to war. They tell you that in the recruiting office. There's always a chance you're gonna go to war. They don't. That's one thing they don't lie about. And you got that choice to say yay or nay, like I did. But when you telling them up, hey, nah, you 18? Okay, well, you about to graduate. We sending somebody to pick you up. You know what I mean? A week later.
Dude was like, "Nah, I was supposed to go down to my man's basement and we're supposed to do some TikToks." You know, that's what I had planned on doing this summer. But y'all talking about I got to go, you know, lace up them boots and go to, you know, basic training and all that shit. Nah, I ain't signed. Nah, I'm on the run, kid.
And see,
I'm on the run.
The thing is, like, somebody did the whole history, you know, from World War I up until, you know, Vietnam, which was the last time they drafted somebody. You know, they did the whole history on that shit. Now, I don't know if it's still the same, but the punishment for draft dodging was 5 years imprisonment, $250,000 fine. You can't get any school loans. You can't vote, can't get a license, all this crazy shit. So I don't know if the punishments are still the same, but I'm pretty sure if they put this place in order, the punishments are going to be the same. And it's just sad, man, because again, you sending the ones you sending the people you really don't give a fuck about. They're going to fight these wars, and then they're going to come back to penance. You know what I mean? To overinflation, houses you can't afford. You know what I'm saying? Women that they can't date. You know what I mean? Like, this other
women they
can't
saying, identify. You know.
There you go.
Lost sauce.
Yeah, I think he
Oh,
just
no.
Oh, there he is.
He back up.
He got drafted.
Yeah, I got drafted. So I'm 20. I'm 26. So he was saying, like, what is it for these young cats to fight for? These incels, they ain't got no woman. They can't afford a fucking house. Am I gone again?
Nah, you good.
No,
Okay.
you still on?
Oh, I got used to the little sound in the background.
The white noise.
On my end?
Yeah, I got used to that shit. I usually go to sleep to that shit.
That's
But
that white noise. Go ahead.
yeah, man, what is it for them to fight for? They can't afford a house. The jobs ain't paying shit. You know what I'm saying? There will be no Social Security for them. And it's the same dudes they said that was graduating in the 70s that dodged the draft that's now putting this shit in place. So that's what I got. It's a bunch of bullshit in my opinion.
Yeah, they picking the wrong time to try to implement this because of the circumstance of these kids and how they've been raised or whatever. They strictly like this.
But they punctified though.
Yeah, they have no social skills. They hear a gun go bang. They running for the hills.
Some of them hate that they got a dick. Like, that ain't a fighter. I don't like my dick, but I'm a fight.
You better say it.
That don't make sense, man. You know, listen, man. I grew up watching shit like Predator. I know it was about a fucking alien. You know, Sergeant Slaughter was my dude on wrestling. You know, we grow up watching the war movies and shit. We had heroes, John McClane, motherfucking Riggs and Murtaugh. It was manly shit we grew up on. You know what I mean? We grew up on Dutch and Dillon and motherfucking Rocky and Rambo, He-Man. You know, no, fuck what you talking about. Well, I don't know. Any guy those draws in the perm.
Yeah, you got a generation
only
of cats
Panthro.
who will sit around and watch movies on the phone, like 8 dudes.
Man, come
one of them
on,
holding
man.
the phone. You know,
we talking about a generation of cats. First of all, we talking about cats that think that going to jail make them tough. So this like, fuck it, I go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Half of them punks anyway. So you know they don't mind signing up to be punk candy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, motherfuckers want titties. Motherfuckers is putting on lace fronts. You got motherfucking grown men doing makeup tutorials nowadays, man. In that 18 to 26-year-old bracket. Go on YouTube, go on TikTok. You see grown motherfuckers. These same white dudes who used to be Rambo doing makeup tutorials now. Come on, man.
Got them army fatigues, skinny jeans. You know,
Look, There was a video.
Heels.
Listen,
They wear heels too. Shit.
listen. There was a video of a motherfucker on an aircraft carrier. It was a dude in full uniform. I'm like, how in the fuck was he able to take this and not get in trouble? He sashaying across the runway. He doing this shit. I'm like, motherfucker, I hope a F-16 land on your punk ass. Sashaying and strong J and shit. It's just this generation ain't like we were, man. They ain't grew up the same, man. They grew up, man. They grew up with yeast infections because them tight ass jeans. You know what I'm saying? They grew up hating their dick because they wore them jeans and because motherfuckers ain't had no daddy around and they wanted to be strong black women and motherfuckers, man. Come on, man. Motherfuckers got my two mamas and my two daddies, man. Come on, man. We talk about Russia got motherfucking killers, man.
This is who they want on the front line. This is who they want on the front line. So
they're gonna be trying to fuck each other, not fight. I'm just saying, man. That's the generation we talking about. But that's my piece on it, man.
Hey, man, the Navy operated without problems for years.
Man, stop.
Yeah, underwater. Underwater.
Yeah,
underwater. That's why, underwater. Out of sight, out of mind. Don't ask.
You said fucking each other?
Yeah, them boats was run by rainbow juice. Hey, one thing, this draft thing, this is nothing new. The only thing new is that you don't have to fill out that card and mail it in, or fill out the Selective Service card. But I'm digging how they want to throw in, including women, because the first thing anybody's gonna do when they get that draft notice is say that they a bitch.
Right.
Yeah, we in that day and age, man, where you got gender fluidity.
That's gonna throw
fluidity.
Yeah. That's immediately. That's what every draft dodger is gonna do. Is like, oh man, I want that front hole. I don't want this ding dong anymore.
Yeah.
But you're right, man. The world is becoming a more and more complex place for Americans because our life is about to change big time with getting off the petrodollar. We're talking about CBDCs, that central bank digital currencies, and the way the United States generates income is mainly by war. And if you can't use the U.S. dollar in certain places, those certain places are going to need democracy and freedom. That's just how it always works. You look at Iraq, you look at Libya, all these places talked about getting off the U.S. dollar, and all of a sudden, they were run by dictators and they needed freedom, and here we are after we removed those leaders. They don't have democracy, they don't have freedom, and they got a lot of internal struggling. And you have U.S. created institutions like ISIS controlling oil wells in the middle of deserts. Like, who buys black market oil? But all of a sudden these terrorist organizations are selling billions of barrels a year. It's we use war as an instrument to create problems in regions and then take advantage of those regions' resources. So I think war is coming. They're making it easier to draft people if that's if that's going to be a thing. But in reality, with the draft being automated, nothing's really going to change in your life other than having to fill out that card.
Yeah. Like, old man said last week, a few of them grew up on a thick one. I can't stop watching that shit, man. This shit had me on the fucking ground, man. That's what it is. We got a generation of those who love those thick ones, Yeah, man. Talking about the girls, but go ahead.
No, I just think, man, this has come up too many times about a draft, and now we got motherfuckers that's trying to actually push the shit as far as
making a bill.
This automated, quality, signing up and shit. It just too much shit is going on around the world, and you see too many different things, man. That's not to mention, man. Issues with China, over these fucking microchips. That was the whole thing with Taiwan. You know what I mean? And all of these old motherfuckers up there, they're a bunch of fucking warmongers. That's all they know is war. When you talk this petrodollar thing, man, that's Russia, China, and 80 other countries that's backing that shit, man.
Yeah, stepping off.
Right.
We could pay direct. We ain't got to go through the middleman.
Right. Right.
Cool.
So
Cool.
so
That's a straight plug. All right.
it's not as it's not as simple as the usual. All right, we're gonna go there, we're gonna spread some money around, and we gonna, you know, uh incite a fucking coup and
Yeah.
then implant our own people. Now it's looking like, okay, we can't send in the economic hitman, so what we gonna do is we gonna send in the military, which is always the next step.
That's baseline.
I don't know.
That was baseline.
And I could be, you know, reading too far into this shit. But you know, I mean, it has to be talked about, man. All the major news sources are talking about, you know, this thing that's happening. So it's interesting to see how it's gonna play out, man, because you know, I always said, man, when you know, people start when there's a war happening, it's a lot of shit going on back over here in the rear, man.
Oh,
People
always.
got to start dealing with our people gonna end up having to start dealing with some bullshit. So
We will do a follow up on that, and you know, check back in on that. But yeah, man, the house they making moves.
There you go.
Go ahead and transition.
You got anything on Kiki?
That's why everybody listening to P. Diddy and all this stuff, all the scandalous stuff, so you don't see what's going on.
Right.
Right.
There's a
Just
lot
that
of
red herring.
Yeah, it's always that little shiny ball over there that's like, hey man, pay attention over here. What's going on with this? Wow, they diddling in the back.
Yeah. Why they diddling? I'd like to see that Epstein list.
Yeah, that part.
Right.
Yeah.
Is the bitch gets Lane still alive?
No, don't speak that name too much. That's gonna get us. That's gonna get us.
You ain't lying.
They're gonna knock this one out. So
you
transition
can't say that shit
sir.
on YouTube either.
Come on, bro.
God,
Come on, buzzwords.
These
Allegedly.
motherfuckers are that bullshit ass algorithm.
Allegedly, exactly.
They're just gonna put it in the algorithm.
It's the algorithm. That's why I was like, ooh, don't go about the list, brother.
You got to say
don't
great.
Speak on the list.
You got to say sexual somersault.
Sexual somersault.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Sexual somersault.
He got milled. You know.
Yeah. Oh man, come on, man.
Yeah.
That algorithm. Tread lightly.
You can't say the J word. Yeah, whatever the goddamn algorithm is.
This platform I have you know, got your ebonics on point. You know, you better start switching that shit up real quick.
Right on.
Overseers. That's what we're gonna call them.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Allegedly, algorithm.
Yeah.
Keep throwing algorithm out there.
They're gonna take away our views. They've already done that.
Yes.
Right. Give us 7 every now and again.
You got 1,000 likes with 2 views.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Make that make sense, man. Please. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.